Okay, I think I'm live. Am I live? I think Mallory's in here. We got a few people in here. Go ahead and say hi. Give us a thumbs up if you see it. Thank you, Mallory. I quickly took that picture and just grabbed some of my tools and just put that together really quickly. But yeah, it's always fun. Got my carving knife. Hey, Jack, how's it going, man? Thanks for hanging out. Jack's actually one of my coworkers. He's one of our designer front-end devs. He's awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hey, Kate. Hey, Adrian. You guys are awesome. Thanks for stopping in. So I've got a funny story. I'll share it probably when we get a few more people in here, but about my Sloyd knife here. But this is your basic wood carving knife. And then I started taking wood carving classes with Anna of All Trades, who has an awesome YouTube channel. Go check her out. And so wanted to learn how to do some wood carving. And so I started with this butter paddle here. So we're going to try and finish it up today during our live. Don't have too far to go. You can see this started out with just like a little, just a piece of pine. So yeah, so it should be fun. Finishing up my first carving tool. How's everybody doing? Adrian, looking forward to your live later. Oh, hey, Lynette, how's it going? Everybody having a good Friday? What are you guys doing this weekend? You guys have any plans? I think we're going to try and finish up our nesting boxes this weekend. We're going to be covering them, putting a roof on it, and then also building the door for it. We have some hinges, and I've got to go buy little chains and hooks for the door itself, so it doesn't like just fly open and flop around. What's your favorite niche to consume outside of homesteading related stuff? That's a great question, Adrian. Mine's cooking, cooking from scratch mainly. Oh, that's awesome, Lynette. I can't wait to start seeds. We're actually going on vacation not too long from now, and we need to have our coop, the new coop and run ready so that we can easily set up a way for the chickens to stay fed and have water and protected from predators. So we're like in a rush to try and get that done now. And then once that's done and we get back, I'll be able to convert the chicken shed into a greenhouse. And so I'm waiting patiently and impatiently to get that done. So, but yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Ink Master is actually a great show. I love that show. Issa, my oldest daughter, just turned 18 and she wants to get her first tattoo. So I don't hate tattoos. I have them. Obviously, I got a few. And I got one on my ankle too. So she wants to get her first one, and I think she's going to go get it with her best friend. So I'm actually kind of happy for her. I think it's going to hurt a lot more than she thinks it's going to hurt, but that's okay. Yes, Lynette, I'm so excited about having a greenhouse, and I think the timing will be perfect to be able to start some stuff in there, but I'm still trying to decide whether I want to have like a soil floor where I can grow some stuff in it, or lay down like a gravel base so that I don't get any weeds in there. What do you guys think? What do you guys prefer? You can also do pavers. I'm just going to probably do gravel. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Part of it's because if I have like the open soil, I don't want to have to weed it. But I do like the idea of being able to grow things in the greenhouse. So Yeah, there's something, like, addictive about the pain of tattoos. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. I wanna get a new tattoo also. I think when I do, I might go live. I don't know. I think, Tim from Ridge Life, did that. He got his, Ridge Life tattoo live. Um, and I thought that was pretty neat, so if I ever get another tattoo, I think I would do that. Mm. So I don't know if you guys know this, I'll go ahead and tell the story about this knife. Um, Matt, I don't know if you know my husband Matt. He does. He's a bladesmith and does some bladesmithing, which means he makes knives and blades. And so when I signed up for my wood carving class, he was all excited about it and thought, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and make you a knife." And the class was like the week after. And I know it takes a little bit of time to make the knives and the handles and everything. And so I was like, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and order the knife off of Amazon because I need it for the class. And I think I hurt his feelings, and so he got a little salty about it. But but I got the knife when I needed it and had used it for for my project for the class. And so this is the knife. And the other reason I didn't mean to hurt his feelings, but the other reason that I ordered the knife was because he'd never made an actual wood carving knife, so like the actual specific Sloyd knife. And so one of the reasons I ordered it was so that he'd have a reference point for making a nicer carving knife. And so he kind of, yeah, he's still kind of salty about it. And he's actually starting his own YouTube channel here before too long. He's getting close to wrapping up his first video. And because he's still salty, his first video, he's actually doing in a series of 3 videos. His first video is on how to make a carving knife. So he but that's okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I hate that I hurt his feelings, but I also hoped that he'd understand why I ordered it, and because I needed it pretty quickly. But yeah, I think he's still a little hurt about it. But so he's making the knife now, and he decided that because he's still kind of mad at me, he's not going to let me use the knife. So that's kind of his way of getting back at me. So I'm a little sad about that too, but I'm not mad. I understand. And then his mom, she actually stopped in yesterday. She showed some interest in learning wood carving. She's actually, she does some woodworking as well. Really good woodworker in her own right. And she showed some interest in doing some wood carving. And so I told Matt yesterday that he should give her the knife so that she can start carving and learning how to do it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, pavers. Yeah, I was thinking pavers for the bottom of the greenhouse because then you'd have like an even floor. And gravel's not the best, and I don't want to be kicking it around everywhere either. So pavers are good. It's just that gravel's just cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, so Cub Scouts are awesome. You learn some of those fun tools. I was a Girl Scout when I was little, but it's actually changed quite a bit from when I was little. I actually learned how to camp, how to start fires, and all that stuff in Girl Scouts, but they don't really do that kind of stuff anymore. And so I was never I never pushed my girls into it or encouraged them to join the Girl Scouts because of that. And I know they could join the Cub Scouts now or the Boy Scouts. The Scouts. But they're a little older now. And I think we're at the point now where we can just teach them how to do those things and teach them those skills. So, yeah. Chrissy, what's up, girl? All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started, but we can just keep chatting. I won't be able to comment much, but if you guys have any questions at all about anything that I'm doing, please let me know. I don't want to lose too much focus because this blade is sharp, and I don't want to have any accidents. So But this is really fun. I've had a lot of fun learning this and doing this. I think it's going to be super helpful. One of the things I want to do now is carve my own kitchen utensils. But I've got to do some research and find some actual, like some nice wood that I want to use for it. So I'm still trying to figure out what that's going to be. So it's got to be soft wood because it's easier to carve. But if you're using a hardwood like oak or or something like that, it's best to use it as fresh as possible. So one of the classes that I'm going to take here in the next few weeks is carving spoons themselves. So this is just a butter paddle. So there's no curves. There's no like rounded sections. And this knife wouldn't be good for that. I'd have to get like a hook knife for that. And so I'm going to be doing that too. But in the spoon carving class where we will cover that, they're actually going to try and send fresh wood pieces to the students. I'm actually going to try and harvest fresh wood from some of the trees here on our property to do that, so to prepare for the class. But the fresher the wood, the better. So that's what we're doing. And so this is just a hobby wood that you can pick up at any of like the hobby stores or even Home Depot or Lowe's. They have hobby wood that you can use for this as well. All right, cool. So what I'm doing is, so we've got this really great shape here. You see that? So what I'm going to try and do now is kind of cut down here and into this section. And then this is going to stay kind of at that same width. So we're just kind of reducing some of the width up here. And then also down here in this area here. So this is going to be more like what you see, this taper here on the knife, but not quite as sharp as the knife, obviously. And then we'll taper this up here as well. And then we're going to try and round off our handle here as well. You can see we had some sketches here. That's the original sketching of the shapes. So anyway, so that's what we're going to try and do today. Taper the bottom portion and the top part of our paddle, and then hopefully we'll get to rounding off the handle. And then I'll probably take our one of our drills and get a nice little hole here for storage for later on. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. One of the other things is making sure that all of your cuts go away from you and are controlled cuts. I don't remember some of the names of the cuts, but we've already done some of the larger, like bigger cuts to get this shape initially. So now we're doing some of the finer cuts. And so we'll go ahead and do some of those. So I'll get a little quiet. So one of the things really important to keep your hands and your body away from where the direction that you're slicing in. So even this right here, what I'm doing is still safe, even though I'm cutting towards myself. I'm not allowing my wrist to move, which means that I'm keeping the blade away from me. And I'm using my elbow and shoulder to push back to cut the slices, to slice the wood and shape it. See that? So even if it slips, it won't cut into me. So we want to be real safe. So here we are. So we're tapering a little bit of that edge here. I know it's a little hard to see. And so when we make a cut into one of the sides, then we'll want to do the other side as well. So that's what we're going to do next. Try and keep it uniform. That's one of the hardest parts of doing anything when you're working with in 3 dimensions. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. It's really chilly. It's supposed to be really cold this weekend and like into the week. And so I'm not excited about that at all. All right, we got nice little slices there. If you guys have any questions at all, if you can put them in caps, that would be fantastic, because then that way I can see it. Hey, Lala Farm, how's it going? Thanks for hanging out with me today. Patty, you're awesome. Keep listening. You're the best. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I see Cecilia in here. Cecilia's been here supporting our channel since the beginning. So I just appreciate you guys so much. And Lynette, who's from 13 Moons Homestead. She's also amazing. We got some really great people here, some really great friends that I've made here on YouTube. Yeah, Cecilia, I actually was just covering that. So one of the things that we're doing with this cut specifically is I'm holding my hand out in this area, so it's not anywhere near my blade. And I'm slicing with the blade still pointing away from me and using my elbow and my shoulder to pull in. And so even if it slips, the blade is not anywhere near me, and this is about as far as it'll go. So it's not going to cut me. This is one of the few cuts, I think, that I learned that actually comes towards you. Adrienne, I agree. This community is just freaking amazing. I still have my my email, my work email up and running. I don't know if Jack's still in here, but you'll hear the dings from my email alerts. And occasionally you'll hear a little like tick, and that's my notifications on my Slack channel for work. So I keep that running all the time. Lala Farm, I can't remember your name. Which one is in here? I know there's two, you guys, typically, and I can't remember. I'm really terrible with names, sorry. Hey, Don, how's it going, man? So I'm taking wood carving classes with under School of All Trades, which is the new trades classes or trade school that Anne of All Trades has opened up. She is one of my inspirations for starting my YouTube channel. She is just amazing. And she is starting, she moved to Nashville from Seattle in hopes of building a trade school and teaching old trades like wood carving, blacksmithing, and just woodworking in general. And so she's just a really huge inspiration for me. And so she started offering classes or started advertising the trade school late last year. And for Christmas, my husband got me some gift certificates for her classes. And so the first class that I took with her was a couple weeks ago, and it was the basic wood carving class. The next one I'm going to be taking is the spoon carving class. So I'm really excited about that one. And then I'll be also taking another class. The third class I'm going to be taking is learning how to sharpen all sorts of tools. So anything from a knife like this to your axes, chainsaws, anything like that. So I'm really, really excited to get to learn some of this stuff. And then as soon as things open up and we can actually do in-person classes, I am planning on going and taking some courses at her workshop. And so I'm really, really excited about that. But I've always been kind of a maker. I love making things. I actually was an art student. I majored in art, and I worked with clay mainly as my primary medium. And so I've always enjoyed creating things and making things with my hands. And wood is just kind of another medium. And I've always enjoyed woodworking as well. So, so that's what I'm doing. And so this year, I'm going to be doing more woodworking. I'm going to be sharing more of that type of stuff. And so, Cecilia, this is one of the cuts that's a little bit more safer. So you'll see I'm actually using my thumb to get some finer details and smoother in there. I probably need to go ahead and cut a little bit more. It's not quite as tapered as I'd like just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take more off of that. And then once we finish this section here, we're going to switch over to the bottom. You can see how The shape there is not quite as tapered as it is up here. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and take more off of that. Oh, if you guys haven't, so Mallory is in here from Quebec Homestead. If you guys haven't checked out her video that she just premiered last night, go check it out. It was pretty amazing. That girl is, she is tough, tough lady. She camped in 20, was it minus 20 degrees Celsius? Yeah, much tougher than me. I love to camp, but there is no way that I'm going to be camping in minus 20 degrees. Sorry, ain't happening. And I consider myself to be pretty tough, but no. Mallory, you got me beat, girl. Also, she'd camped out with her horse. I believe that was Copper, and her beautiful dog. I can't remember what kind of dog that was, what breed that was, but it's a beautiful dog. Yeah, it looked cold. Mallory. Getting closer. So I'm going to have to clean up after this. We got wood shavings everywhere. The nice thing about doing this now is we can have the shavings to use as tinder for when we start, when we get the fire going. And because it's going to be so cold here and starting today and into the week, we're going to be able to use a lot of these shavings. So that'll be fun. All right. Ooh, we're getting closer. I think I've got... I like that. What do you guys think? Do you guys like that shape? We're looking at this right here. You see that taper now? It's not quite as, sorry, I'm trying not to move it around too much, but get good lighting. Here we go. So you see that taper here, and we've got it kind of beefy here in the middle. We want to keep that beefiness there. So we're just tapering the top, and then we'll get to the bottom as well. That's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Doesn't necessarily make great TV or great live material, but I just wanted to kind of do something different today, more creative. And I've been trying to set some time aside to finish this paddle, and it just hasn't worked out for me. So I thought, well, let's just do it during my live, and if you guys want to come hang out with me, that'd be great. I also got a new saw that I'm really excited about trying out this weekend. I think maybe on Sunday. Well, no, Sunday we're not going to be able to do it because if some of you guys know, the Chiefs are playing. The Super Bowl is Sunday and the Chiefs are playing, and we're big Chiefs fans because we're in Missouri. So we got to support our Chiefs. So we're going to be doing that Sunday. So I guess I won't be doing any wood art on Sunday. And then Saturday we're doing the work on the chicken coop. Yes, please put your questions in caps if possible. I did see a question. What exactly is a butter paddle for? It is to be able to scrape butter out of containers. It's kind of an old school tool. Most of us just use knives now, like metal knives and stuff like that. But these are kind of old school tools. So yeah. And one of the things I'll be doing too is carving some kitchen utensils. To be able to use in the kitchen. We use a lot of cast irons. We do a lot of cooking in our cast iron skillets, and I have a really hard time with some of our older utensils that are made out of the not silicone, but almost like a plastic or rubber. And so a lot of times they'll get burned, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm going to be working on making my own kitchen utensils for cooking. That will be much better with they'll be much better to use with the cast iron skillets. Sorry, I can't talk. Trying to concentrate on this too, and not talking very well. I hope that answered your question, Adrian. And let me know if you can hear me okay. I kind of sometimes mutter. How do you finish it? So I know some people, in terms of finishing it, some people actually do, they sand down the finished carved piece. And then you'll treat it with a, basically a food safe type of oil. So like a mineral oil or something like that. I've got to do some research, some more research into how to actually treat this piece. And so, so yeah, but I'll probably be using mineral oil. And then of course, don't let it sit in water. Water and wood don't go very well together. All right, so I think I've got it tapered to the point that I want or that I like. See if you can see it there. Sorry, the lighting can get a little harsh here. So you can see the taper pretty well there. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the bottom part. So here we're gonna try and taper from here into here. So let me get my pencil. I have a pencil somewhere where I can draw that out. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch out where I'm going to taper so I know where I want to do that, and keep that in mind as I do it. All right, cool. So you can see where I sketched that out. So that's where we're going to taper it, and it's going to stay in its full width right here. Sorry, right there. And then we've got our taper up here as well. So this is getting tapered here. That's what's next. Hey, Thorhaven Farm. How's it going? Is that your name, Darren? Cool. Sorry, I've missed some of the chat here. Trying to get caught up. Nice. Okay. All right, Thorhaven Farm. Now I know that your name is Darren, and I'm going to try and remember that from now on. I'm not the best at names, so sorry about that, but I'm working on it. I think one of the things that's come up recently in the homesteading community is the discussion about HOA, which is the Homesteaders of America Conference. Who is going or is planning on going to HOA if it happens? I'm assuming it's going to, just because of some of the things trending with HOA. So, but I'd love to know like who's going to that. Oh, hey, Teresa, how's it going, girl? Your soup, I forget what the name of it was, Teresa, that you made the other day that has the tamarindo or tamarind, looked amazing. I love tamarind, by the way. That's something I grew up eating. It's in a lot of Mexican candies. I just love it. It's kind of got like that, it's got a sweetness but sourness to it. So it's really, really fun contrast. And then the candies usually, they add a little sugar to it for sweetening, but then do the saltiness. Salt, sugar, and tamarind together are just amazing. I don't know. Have you guys tried tamarind? Do you even know what it is? Oh, Mallory, you gotta come. I'm planning on going. I'll have to talk to Matt about what that's going to look like. I think I'm not sure if we'll all be able to go. I know Issa probably won't be able to go. She's my oldest. She will be starting college in the fall, and so she might not be able to get that time off. Adrian, yeah, I can imagine. So I think from what I've heard, it's getting bigger every year in terms of participation. So I understand that. But just so Issa also has struggles with some of those types of. She struggles with anxiety, and she absolutely loved it. She loved walking around and going to all of the different vendors and learning about what it is that they make and what they're selling, and even brought her own money and bought some stuff from folks. And she really enjoyed it and wants to go back, but I just don't know if she'll be able to because of school. So we'll just have to see, because she will be in session by that time. It's in October. But I'm just really excited. The last time I went, the first and the last time that I went to HOA, I didn't have my channel yet. And so I hadn't met some of you amazing people yet. And so I'm really excited. I was just chatting with Dawn from Little Mountain Life yesterday about HOA. And I think the thing I'm probably the most excited about is getting to meet everybody here. Like all of you awesome people that are here in the chat. You guys are just amazing. And the homesteading community is just incredible. And so I just want to meet you guys like face to face, like not separated by this screen here. Like I want to get to know you guys, and hopefully be able to hug you guys. It's just one of those things. I want to get to hang out and teach. I want to teach Chrissy some moves, some K-pop moves. Yeah. So I'm trying to hold this up here so you can see what I'm doing. You can see that these are like the cuts I'm making now are a little finer. So we're just shaping that taper a little bit more. And I'm still a little timid with this, so it goes a little slower. That's why it's taking me so long. Because like I said before, I don't know if were in here earlier, but this is my first carving piece. So yeah. And it's the case when you're doing something for the first time, you're a little bit more timid. I can tell you probably after I do 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces of these that I'm going to be just, and I'm hoping to get to that point soon. That's one of the things that we used to do in ceramics class in college. We would get assigned every week, to throw, I don't know, 10, 20 cups, not fancy cups, just basic cups, just a cylinder, just a little tube of clay. And that's it. Try to get them uniform, same height, same weight and everything. Just 20 pieces like that in 1 week. And we did it. And like the more you do it, the faster, the more comfortable you get with it, the faster you go. And so that's the goal. I think one of the things I want to do is kind of challenge myself and do something like that, where I carve something either once a week, or even like really, really challenge myself and try and carve something once a day. I don't think I'll be able to do that, especially once spring gets here and we're going to be like in full like growing mode. So in terms of growing food, so I don't think I'll be able to do that, but maybe once a week, I can do something like that. And then maybe do like these lives where we can do and just set them up as like what we're trying to do right now and just finish the pieces. Teresa, I talked about the knife earlier. This is a wood carving knife. It's just a basic carving knife. It's called a Sloyd knife. So yeah, it is It is a knife made specifically for carving. So we're getting a nice taper now. You can see the tapers. Look at that shape. So we've got a beautiful shape now. And we've got it on both sides. There we go. You can see that? Looks really good, actually. I'm really excited about it. Now, one of the things that people do, I think somebody had asked about finishing the pieces earlier. I'm not going to sand this down. I'm going to try and get as much of the fine tuning I can with my blade, but I want to keep some of those like handmade touches because I think they're beautiful and I think they add character to a piece, even if it is just a utility or something that's going to be used daily. I love that about pieces. I love that about pottery. I can always tell when something's actually been made by hand and not a machine. And so I'm really excited about finishing this up. And so what I'll do is try and get as much of the detail in like I'm doing right now. This little cut right here lets you do more detailed type slices. And so see how that shape is really pretty? Here, you can see the tapers right there in that position. Isn't that cool? So now we're going to do this section here in the same way. Try and finish it off. I'm really excited about having this piece ready to go. And then doing some research on the oil that I want to treat it with and start using it in the kitchen. My Issa, my oldest that I was just talking about, she loves to bake, and so she would be able to use something like this. I agree, Adrian. Things can be beautiful and useful. This is just pine, Teresa. This is just pine. I'm starting out with what you would call a softwood, and this pine is definitely one of those. We just picked this up at in the hobby section at Home Depot, but you can find them at Home Depot, at Lowe's, and also at any of the hobby stores like Michael's and Hobby Lobby. But yeah, so we've got a beautiful, beautiful shape now. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to soften these edges so we can finish off the paddle portion of it, and then we'll switch over to the handle. So one of the common questions that was asked, and I'm not a carving expert yet, goal is to be someday, but I am far from that now, is how you round off edges like this. And this is basically how you do it. You just take a cut and cut section by section until it's rounded off. Which is pretty cool. I mean, it's so simple. I think sometimes we just tend to complicate things or try and overcomplicate things. We're human, I guess. That's just what we do. It's in our nature. I think cooking is the same way. I think we try and overcomplicate that too. So Adrian, are you going to be cooking some fideo soon? I know that Rachel finally put that video out for you. Oh yeah, I need to. Yeah, tongue oil. That was the other thing that I was going to look into. Adrian, I'm excited to learn how to do a spoon as well. So I need to get a hook knife for that. I don't have that yet. There are lots of wood carving knives. I'm still learning about all of them. Right now, the basic knife is the Sloyd knife, and then the hook knife that allows you to do the spoons and do actual like scooping into the wood itself. So, but there's some others that I'm going to be learning about, and this, it's something that I'm going to be sharing more of on our channel. So, if you are interested in that kind of stuff and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that, because we're going to be sharing most of that stuff or more of those types of videos soon. I'm also going to be diving into more wood art. I bought myself a new tool that I'm going to be unboxing in one of our videos coming up, and also using it to make something for another homesteading channel that I'm friends with. He actually reached out and asked a few people who had the skill set to do this, to make this particular piece. And so I reached out to him, and so I'm going to be doing that. We just finalized that yesterday. So I'm going to be making something fun for him. And I'm actually going to record it and share that video. Got permission from him to be able to do that. And then, of course, he's going to be unveiling it on his own channel. So I can't say who it is quite yet because I want it to be a surprise. Not that, he said to hide it, but I just want it to be a surprise because it's pretty cool. So I'm surprised that we even have a good enough signal right now because the girls are home. They're actually off of school today, and I know that they're watching some stuff on Netflix right now. So let me know if you guys can't see something. I'll adjust so you guys can get a better vantage point of what I'm doing, the cuts that I'm making. Some of my videos where I'm planning on sharing this will be done obviously a lot better. I'll have more control over what that's going to look like, but it's kind of hard to do when you're doing a live. I don't know if you can tell. So we don't have internet out to our workshop yet. My husband's going to be working on that, getting that set up out there, so that we can do more of these videos in the actual workshop instead of here. Right now, I'm actually in the basement. You can see our water heater that we're getting replaced here in the next week or so. You can see, and then that's actually Matt's reloading area. He reloads ammo. So that's his reloading space back there. And then this space that I'm in is actually the workout room. So you can see some of the pull-up bars, kettlebells over there. And then over here is the squat rack. So I don't actually use a lot of those. My younger daughter that used to do competitive gymnastics, she works out in here. Oh, Teresa. I didn't know what butter paddles were either. And, but they were talking about it for our first dive into wood carving. And now I think they're just the coolest thing. They're so pretty. And hey, who knows if this turns out nicely, maybe I can send it to you. I don't know. Anybody want a wood wood carved butter paddle? We can do a little giveaway at the end of our live. See, I just poked myself. You guys want to know how sharp this knife is? I literally just poked myself, and look at that. And it's not even deep, but I actually poked myself pretty badly during my during the class, and so I had to sit there with Anna of all trades and Josh Nava, who's an amazing whittler, and admit that I'd done that. And so I'm still getting used to making sure that I don't that I don't do this kind of stuff. Oh, Teresa, I don't know if I do want to get a stamp, so I'll be able to stamp my pieces later on. So I'm working on that, getting our little logo, little Sonny's Place logo right here. So that is something I'm planning on doing. So maybe I can do that. So my goal is to, like I was saying, I want to challenge myself here in the next few weeks to making to carving a piece, once a week, and get to the point where I can build up some inventory, and start and open a shop where I can sell some of these pieces as well as some of the wood art that I'm going to be also working on. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's something I've always kind of wanted to do, is to have a little shop where I can sell the things that I'm actually making. And so this is actually going to allow me to do that and do something that I enjoy, and that I just think is so much fun and want to share with people. So. Oh, Teresa, cool. Who'd you buy it from? I know Jason from Sutherland was selling a lot of his wood art and carved pieces there. I got to meet him and Lorraine at HOA, and they're just amazing people. Everybody I met at HOA was just amazing. Got to talk to Jess and Maya from Roots and Refuge as well. I'd actually met them before. And surprisingly, she remembered who I was. She's just amazing, by the way. I got to meet Meg and Ben Holler also at HOA, and I'd also met them previously. And again, they also remembered who I was. I think part of it is because we're both from California and kind of making this transition into this whole homesteading thing. And I still chat with Meg occasionally on Instagram. And so they're just really great people. And so that's one of the reasons I'm like super excited about going to HOA, because I want to meet so many of you. You guys are just amazing people. Oh, okay. Yeah, there were some really, really great products there. I didn't even get to buy anything from Jason, but Issa, my oldest, she bought a bunch of stuff. Like makeup stuff, I think is from Emily Toops. She makes some really great skincare products. And my daughter bought a bunch of stuff from her, and got to talk with her a little bit more about how she makes her products and all of that. And her skin looked amazing when she started using those products. So I actually highly recommend them. And I think I'm going to buy a bunch of that stuff for myself. I'm not necessarily known for, skincare, but Emily makes some really, really, really awesome stuff. And as you can see, I like stabbed myself. I didn't even stab myself. It was more like a little poke. And so I've been kind of bleeding a little bit, but that's okay. I needed to give my thumb a break here. But at the 1 hour mark, I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I do have a meeting right after this. So I can't stay on longer. And if I don't finish this, I'll go ahead and share on my Instagram live. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go do that. It's just look up Sonny's Place and you'll find us there. It's spelled just like here on this channel. But go check it out, and because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this, but I'll finish it on my Instagram channel probably later today. So be sure to check that out, because I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this entirely. I'm going to try and go ahead and finish this section of the blade though, or of the paddle. Well, I'm not in California. I grew up in California. And so that was one of the reasons that I connected with Jason and Lorraine from Sutherland and with Meg and Ben Holler, because we come from that area. In fact, Jason and Lorraine are from Southern California, which is where I'm from. I think they were up in the LA area. I grew up in Orange County area. And so, but similar area, kind of same vibe. And Meg and Ben, I think, were more in the central part of the state. But yeah, I just got to know them. I started following their channels, when I first got interested in this whole self-sufficiency thing. And, always commented, and they were just great people. And so I got to meet them at the Baker Creek Spring Planting Festival a couple of years ago. And it was just so much fun to get to know them in person. And a lot of these homesteaders, they're just the best people. And they're super authentic and just friendly people. And so I got to meet a bunch of them there, as well as Natalie from Hey, It's a Good Life, who is also from Southern California. And now we're actually like buddies. I went to see her when we were out visiting family last Christmas. And she's just amazing, amazing woman. And then who else did I meet? I met Tracy and Ashley from Farm Alarm, who happened to be like neighbors. They're only 10 miles from us, which is cool. Also got to meet the folks from White House on the Hill. I actually don't follow them too much. I only know Jake, but I met his wife. I think her name is Becky. I met her there. Didn't get a chance to talk to her much. And then I did talk to Stacy from Doug and Stacy. They're also homesteaders here in Missouri. Everybody knows who they are, of course, but they're up in Hannibal. But anyway, they're also amazing. Stacy is just a really sweet, sweet lady. So I got to meet them at the Spring Planting Festival first, and then met them again at HOA, and it was just great to get to kind of touch base with them and see how everybody's doing. But yeah, it was just cool. Chrissy. Oh yeah, Cecilia, let me grab that real quick. Sorry, I got chattering and then like totally. I don't have a mod set up for this. I'm not fancy like that. But if you guys gonna go follow up on the Instagram, I'll finish the paddle there. Let's keep going because we're getting kind of tight. I did want to give my thumb a little break from after poking it, but didn't want to bleed all over the place. And I remember when I first got this knife, it didn't feel like it was that sharp. In fact, it seemed a little dull to me, but I found out fairly quickly that it is not dull. And it actually is a good sharp knife. But I really appreciate you guys. I know we're kind of winding down, but I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. Let me know if you guys like this this kind of live where I'm making something and we're just chatting, because I love to just kind of get to know you guys and just to kind of get a glimpse into what it is that I'm doing and the things that I'm excited about. And so if you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff, let me know. Leave it in the comments, and I'll do that. Because this is just fun. I think it's fun. But I don't know about you guys. Yeah, Teresa, you do have to be more careful with sharper knives. The thing is, though, that it actually is safer to cut food, to use tools that are sharper than dull. You're not having to make as much of an effort to cut things, and so it's actually safer if done properly. I actually try and teach my girls how to cut properly often, because sometimes I'll see things that they're doing in the kitchen that can lead to accidents, and so I'm always keeping an eye out for those types of things. Ashley, I see you're back in here. How did your painting turn out? I'll have to go back and check it out. So Ashley from Mulberry Branch just had a live before this where she was painting one of her donkeys. She was making an acrylic painting on canvas of one of her donkeys. And I thought it was really funny that you did that, Ashley, because I was planning on doing this here. And here we are, sharing some of our art skills on YouTube. I think it's so cool. I actually didn't realize that you had that much, that you had that background. And so it's just really neat to get to know that, to get to see it and see you doing it. That's one of the things I actually miss the most about college is being around all the creative kids making things. It's just fun and just inspirational. I got about a few minutes here. I got a meeting in 5 minutes, but yeah. Creative kids. I was one of those. I always was playing in clay. Always dirty. I know being around other creatives is just so inspiring, and I think that's one of the reasons I really enjoy the small YouTube homesteading YouTube community, because that's what we're doing. We're creating content about the stuff that we're doing on our homesteads, and so we are kind of a group of creatives, even though we're kind of like the raising animals, growing food, but we are creative in that sense. So you might say that you're not a creative person. You're creating content on YouTube. And so you are creative, and and I'm sure that you're doing what I do, which is always trying to come up with creative ways to present what it is that you are doing or want to talk about in that particular video. So you guys are awesome. You guys really are. You guys are an inspiration to me, and I know to other YouTubers. So, Lynette Fiber. I used to knit too. I haven't done that in ages, but I actually enjoyed it. I think it's something I'll probably do as I get older. But I really enjoy this. I can see myself just doing this for hours. Obviously, with kids and the homestead, it's hard to do that and to set that time aside. But since we're wrapping up, I wanted to go ahead and show you where we are with the paddle. See, we're pretty much done. I just have some few details to make on it. And then I'll do the handle on our Instagram. As you can see, I kind of bled on it a little bit because of my little poke accident. So I'll clean that up. Sorry, but I will clean that up. All healed up now, so it's not doing anymore. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off now. I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you didn't already. And then we've got some fun videos coming out next week, and then we'll come back here live a week from today. And I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a carving session, but I'll try and keep it fun for you. And if you don't know, I'm going to be on Two Family Homesteads Monday night live. So don't forget to come and hang out, ask questions. I'm going to try and make it real fun, give Sherry and Daryl a hard time. So yeah, don't forget. I hope you guys have a really great Friday. I think Adrian from Farmstead Smith is going live later this afternoon. I think it's 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. my time, Central time. So don't forget to hang out there. And I guess I will see you guys next week. Adios.